Hello, welcome to WGC. Be sure to like and subscribe for daily yoga. My name is Jen, and today I'll be guiding you through a yin practice. So one of my teachers is an amazing man by the name of Bernie Clark. If you're familiar with him, he's kind of known as the father of yin yoga in the Western world. I'm very honored. I feel very honored to have been taught by him, and I feel very grateful to be able to share some of the teachings with you guys out there. So to begin, we're just going to sit in a meditation shape. Now, you may find it useful to have a cushion or a block, but for now I'm going to be pretty propless, and I'll let you know when to bring in this cushion or block if you do choose to use this. All right, so for now, just get yourself comfortable. You're welcome to sit in some sort of easy seat, or if you wish to sit in a more dominating posture, such as just on your heels in Vajrasana with your knees pointing forward, you're welcome to do that. But wherever you are, bring your palms to face the sky so that you can kind of give yourself a moment of surrender. Notice if your shoulders are crunched up towards your neck. This does tend to happen, so just give yourself a nice exhale. Roll your shoulders back and down. Ensure that your belly isn't protruding out too much, and just be gentle with yourself as you pull it in slightly so that your back can feel a nice bit of tension release, especially towards the bottom. Now, as you feel ready, allow your eyes to close. And slowly begin to draw your attention to your very natural breath. And beginning to notice if you have created any sort of tension around your shoulders, and just relaxing them down a bit more. Relaxing your jaw. Settling your eyes. Releasing any sort of tension in the space just behind your eyes. And connecting to your breath, connecting to your body. And as long as you feel comfortable doing so, bring your palms to your heart center in a prayer. Anjali Mudra, right in front of your heart chakra. And begin to welcome in an intention for your practice today. Make your intention present. Make your intention in the now. And feel your intention as if it already exists, really committing to it for the whole duration of this practice. And then breathe in that intention with a full expansive inhale. And release whatever is not serving you with an open mouth exhale. Beautiful. Thank you, yogis. 2 more times, please. So inhale. Release what is not serving you. Exhale. Beautiful. Last one. Breathe in. Feel your intention become alive and release. Now drop your chin down just slightly towards your chest. Be very soft with your inner gaze and slowly begin to blink open your eyes. Beautiful. Now begin to bring your head back up, making your chin parallel with the floor, taking a peek at me. We're going to start in butterfly pose. So you're going to bring the palms of your feet to touch one another. And the closer your heels are towards your groin, the more the hips are going to be targeted. The further your heels are away from your groin, the more you're going to get into the hamstring. So it kind of depends on what you want. This is where blocks or cushions could be useful, where you could just place them underneath your knees, especially if you have knee pain. If your knees are off the ground, as long as they feel okay, don't worry about it. One important thing, do not push down on your knees, okay? So keeping your hands on your thighs and just roll your thighs back a little bit, like you're trying to open up your hips a little bit more. All right, you can just kind of wiggle side to side, and this just gives a bit more of an expansive space inside the hips. All right, now this may feel a little bit counterintuitive, but in Yin, we basically are holding shapes for a matter of minutes, and you're completely relaxing your body. So notice here if you're holding some tension inside your hips, and just allow your hips to relax. It may help to just hold on to your ankles for some support, or you can even open your feet up like a book. Now, instead of having a vigorous body with a straight spine, what we're going to do is we're going to exhale and just begin to drop your chin down towards your chest and round out your spine as your forehead begins to point down towards your toes. The crown of your head is slowly beginning to point down towards the mat. And from here, if it's available to you, you can begin to stretch your arms out with your palms facing the sky. Now you'll begin to notice here that it might feel a little bit more intense on the hips. And of course that's okay. But the importance here is to completely relax the body. Completely relax the body. And every time you inhale, you feel your body just melt even further into a completely relaxed space. And as we're in these shapes, just be really gentle with yourself, really kind with yourself, especially as you hold them. And really just surrendering to the shape. Allowing your whole body to relax. You may begin to notice that you can melt down a little bit further. And if you can, just walk your arms forward a little bit more and then allow yourself to dip down. And we'll stay here for about 5 more full breaths. Notice the intensity. Beautiful. Take your last breath. And then very gently begin to guide yourself back up so you're sitting up nice and straight. Awesome. So here you can grab from your thighs and just gently pull your knees together. Lean back onto your hands, have your feet separated, and then just windshield wiper your knees back and forth a little. And this way we can give ourselves a bit of a counter movement because it does feel quite intense, and it is quite intense on the hips. And we're just going to move through a nice full body stretch today. Okay. So this is great, especially if you're a bit more of a beginner to Yin yoga, because we're not doing such extensive long holds, but at the same time we're kind of testing out the whole body. So now we're going to cross our legs, but we're going to cross them in a way that may feel a little bit weird and different to people. So you want the shins to be parallel with the front of the mat. You're going to place your left leg on the bottom, and then take your right ankle and place it over top of your left knee. Yeah, this again is where a block could come in handy, and you would put this block or this cushion underneath the knee and above the ankle here, okay? You might not even need it, so it just kind of depends on the accessibility in your body. Beautiful. So from here, you're going to bring your right arm out towards the side, and then inhale, lift your left arm up nice and high, and as you exhale, allow it to push over towards the right as you just gently allow the weight of your left sit bone to push into the earth. Now from here, if it's available to you, you can even bring your forearm onto the earth. But if it feels too intense, I encourage you to straighten your arm, okay? So just do what feels right in your body. Don't worry so much about, your expectations of yourself. But instead, just kind of tapping into that inner wisdom, that inner teacher, right? I'm just here guiding you. I actually can't even see you. That'd be kind of creepy if I could. So just allow yourself to get to know your own body here. And these shapes may feel a little bit intense. And if they do, that's okay, as long as you're not entering a space of pain. There's a huge difference between discomfort and pain. It's probably a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay, but pain is not so good. And really relaxing your body here. Notice if you have tension. Allowing that space to be at ease so it can open. And just closing the eyes. Drawing your attention to your breath. Taking 5 more breaths. And then allow your left arm to just drop down by your side and use the weight of your left hand to pull yourself back up into a straight spine. Beautiful. And then we're going to place our right hand behind us. Just give a bit of a counter twist. The left hand comes to the outside of the right knee. Take an inhale, extend. Exhale, just look past your right shoulder. Beautiful. Now release yourself out of the pose. Come leaning back onto your hands, and we're going to flip our feet around. So now your right leg is going to go onto the bottom. The left heel will go on top of the right knee. Beautiful. Bring the left arm out towards the side. Inhale, lift the right arm up. And as you exhale, leaning over towards the left side. Just lightly weighting the right sit bone down so that you can really find expansion in the side body. You may find that you have a bit more availability in one side. In yin yoga, it's more of a feminine practice, whereas yang yoga is a masculine. And in this feminine or moon practice, we are very soft with our bodies. There is little to no muscular engagement. And please remember that moving forward throughout this practice. You're just relaxing. Taking 5 more really yummy breaths here. Beautiful. And then begin to reach your right arm down by your right side. Allow the weight of your hand to lift you up. Straighten out your spine. Left arm comes behind you. Right hand comes over to the left side. Give yourself a nice little counter twist. And then lean back onto both of your hands. Allow your feet to release and give yourself a few nice, delicious windshield wipers again, just to ease off the hips a little bit. This may feel really challenging if you don't have much of a practice with meditation, or if you usually do more vigorous, fast-moving practices. It can be a huge challenge to be allowing ourselves to come to a space of stillness, but perhaps use this as a hint that this is maybe something that you need. All right, so allow your feet to cross, and then we're just going to come on to our knees, okay? So coming into a nice tabletop, bring your big toes together. Your knees are about hip-width distance apart, maybe a bit further. And allow your bum to fall down onto your heels. Come into a child's pose, reaching your arms forward. Forehead comes down onto the earth. And allow yourself to just settle in this delicious shape. We'll be here for about 10 or so breaths, so just be gentle and kind with yourself. And remember that yin yoga is so much about letting go. So much about just taking it really easy on ourselves. And at any point that you feel your mind drifting throughout this practice, because it will happen, you know we're only human, just gently and compassionately bring yourself back to your breath. Beautiful. Thank you, yogis. Now, as you inhale, come up into a tabletop. And as you exhale, allow your belly and upper body to drop towards the floor. I'm just going to come into Sphinx pose. So your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. The palms of your hands are pushing forward. And your gaze is forward. Now, if you have two options here. So if you wish to stretch the back of the neck a little bit more, maybe you look up a lot and you just kind of want to release some tension there. Maybe you're a teacher, you write on a blackboard a lot. And just release your chin down towards your chest. Allow the crown of the head to face the earth, and you'll notice that there is a bit of a tension release. This may also feel really good if you sit at a computer all day. And here we're opening the front body, especially around the heart. If it feels better for you to have the gaze forward, you're welcome to do that. So this is so much about finding this inner teacher, just using me as a simple guide. And if you wish to bring it into a bit more of a front body opener, you can bend your knees and have your heels towards your bum. And if you do have a cushion, you can even bring the cushion underneath your knees, so your knees lift up a little bit more and just slide it underneath there. And this brings you into more of an arched spine. But wherever you are, wherever your head is, just relax here. And the point is to be feeling sensation. Coming back to your breath every time. I really encourage you to close your eyes as well in this practice when we're in these shapes, because it's a bit harder to stare off into space and daydream when our eyes are closed. Harder, but not impossible. We all daydream. Feel your belly being massaged on the mat as you breathe. Make sure your neck is being given a lot of space so it's not being crunched by the shoulders, but it's actually a bit more expansive. Whether your chin down or your nose up, doesn't matter. A long neck is important. And then slowly as you exhale, allow your feet to drop down. Allow your palms to come on either side of your chest and just gently push yourself back into a child's pose again. Really soft and gentle. Just completely relaxing your body. And then from here, inhale, come into a tabletop. We're going to come into just one yang pose today. So tuck your toes under, lift your hips, come back into a down dog. This may feel really delicious on the hips. Really just pushing into the mat with your hands. Really take advantage of this down dog. We're only going to be doing a few today. And then bring your feet together so that the insides of the feet are touching. Press your right foot into the ground. Inhale, lift the left leg up. And as you exhale, bring the knee right in towards the chest and very gently step the left foot through. Drop the right knee down and untuck the right toe. And then begin to slide the left foot out towards the left side of the mat and bring the left arm to the inside of the foot. This is, again, a place where you may want to use your block or your cushion if you have stronger hamstrings. If you have pretty loose hamstrings like myself, you might be okay. So one option as we're in this shape is to just bring the palms of the hands towards the earth, maybe the fingertips. Again, if you are very active, if you're a basketball player, chances are you might be kind of up here. All right, but just bringing the fingertips or the palms down to a space where you can really relax the left hamstring, okay? So the bottom part of the thigh, that's your hamstring if you don't know. And here it, just from muscle memory, tends to tense up a little bit. So really just be kind with that space, allow it to relax. And same with the right quad, so the top of the right thigh, allow that to relax. Now, as you feel you're in a completely relaxed space, I just want you to check on your alignment quickly. So make sure that your left knee isn't coming past your left ankle. If it is, just move your foot forward a little bit more, okay? Because this can be really bad for the knee joint. And then if you do feel ready, or if it is available to you, you can come onto your forearms. And you can even begin to bring the left foot outwards a little bit more, maybe even point the toes out so they point out, say, around 11 o'clock. And relax your hips down towards the mat. So again, you are completely unengaged. It may feel nice to make a couple of fists. I like to do this and then rest my forehead down. Or if you have a block, you can even rest your head on a block or a cushion. But for now, I'm just going to use my fists. And with every exhale, you're surrendering deeper into the shape. So even though in yin yoga we're very much relaxing our bodies, it can still feel a little bit intense because we're targeting different meridian lines throughout our bodies. So we actually create an emotional release. So if you feel this coming on, perhaps you get a rush of sadness or joy or anger or gratitude, and just allow it to flow through you. Even if, and especially if it means tears, and just coming back to your breath. We'll take 5 more breaths here. Notice if you can go a little bit deeper, or maybe you actually have to come up a little bit. And then slowly, slowly, if you are on your forearms, coming on to the palms of your hands. And then you're going to slide your left foot over towards the right side. So if you practice yang yoga, this is called pigeon. In yin, it is called swan. The reason why the names are changed is because we are relaxing our bodies. We're not engaging. So here, if you want like full swan, then your shin will be in line with the front of the mat. However, I don't necessarily encourage that, especially if you have tight hips, so you can just allow the heel to slide towards the groin a little bit. This could be where the cushion or block comes in handy, and you can just put it right underneath your left sit bone if you need. No pressure though. Then just take your right knee, slide it back just a little bit to find a bit more length there. Untuck your toe, make sure your lower body is relaxed. And then gently pull your torso to slightly pull and direct itself towards the left side. And then slowly begin to drop your belly down on top of your leg. Beautiful. And again, you can have the cushion underneath your head or a couple of fists, or maybe you feel super open by now because we've done a lot of stuff around the hips, and you can just bring your forehead down. Wherever you are, the small engagement that I'll request you to make is a flexed left foot. Just because that way we protect the knee, so the bottom of your foot is nice and open. And just keeping your attention to your breath. And if you find it challenging to be in this space with us, just watch yourself slowly letting go. Maybe you're letting go of a thought pattern or a belief that isn't serving you. or a whole pizza that you ate the other day. Just kidding. Just simply let go. And as you feel ready, we're slowly going to lift up our torso, bring the palms of the hands towards the mat. And if you do have a cushion underneath your left sit bone, you can push it off towards the side. Then put all of the weight on the left sit bone so that you can bend the right leg. And then begin to swing the right leg towards the front of the mat. Okay, so you're going to have the knee bent a little bit. You can straighten the foot. And then you're going to take the left leg and wrap it over top of the right knee. So ideally your knees are going to be stacked. If you have tighter hips, your left knee might be pointing out towards the left a little bit, and that's okay if that happens. All right, now adjust your hips just to make sure they're fairly square. And then bring your palms facing up onto the mat and just gently allow the forehead to drop down. So you'll notice here that you have a bit of an intense stretch in the back of the right leg. Again, you're welcome to use, if this feels really intense, you can put a cushion over top of your left knee and just rest your forehead or your chest there, or even a block, or even your fists. For me, I'm like, give me this leg stretch, so I'm going to come all the way down. Relaxing your whole body. And slowly, slowly begin to lift up. Bring the crown of the head to face the sky. Lean back onto your hands, and we're going to do the windshield wipers again. So release your legs, and then just drop your knees towards each side. So these counter movements are super important, because then it allows the stretches to kind of come full body instead of just targeting one specific area or one specific movement. All right, we're going to cross our legs, reach your hands in front of you, and then we're going to step our feet back and come again into a downward facing dog. Super delicious down dog. So really take advantage of the shape while we're here. We're not going to be here for long, and we're only going to do this probably one more time. Beautiful. And bring the feet together if they aren't already together, pushing the left foot into the floor. Inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, bring the right knee in towards the chest. Gently step your right knee onto the mat. Drop your left knee down. Bring the right arm to the inside of the right leg, and then just shimmy that right foot out towards the side. So same movements, but on the opposite side. So again, give yourself the time and space. It might even feel nice to kind of move back and forth or side to side a little bit, just to loosen up the hips, loosen up the right hamstring and the left quad a little bit. And as you feel ready, you can slowly begin to drop your elbows, your forearms down towards the earth. And again, if you needed the block or the cushion to rest your forehead on, you're welcome to bring it in here. and completely, completely relax the legs. Allow yourself to be soft. Allow your whole body to be soft. You can kind of picture your muscles melting like they're honey. And the reason why we relax our muscles is because in Yin Yoga we're actually stretching the layer of muscle that's just underneath the muscle. So we're stretching something called the fascia. It's basically the connective tissue that reaches between the muscle and the bones. And it's the fascia, it's releasing the tension of the fascia that can make us more flexible. So it actually gives your muscles more space to be flexible. And not only that, but this is where and how we target the meridian lines. So reach your edge, lean into your edge, and hold in this space. Just another couple of breaths. And then you can slowly begin to lift up onto your palms if you're not already there. We're going to move into our swan, so bring that right foot over towards the left side. Drop the right knee down. Again, in a perfect, like full swan, the front of your shin is in line with the front of the mat, but for us normal people that aren't incredibly flexible, we can just glide the heel towards the groin. I'm going to do that for sure. You can slide your back knee back just a little bit to just push yourself a little bit into your edge. And then again, direct your torso slightly towards the right side and then allow yourself to come down. The reason why we bring our torso towards the right side is because it squares off the hips a bit more. So it makes it so that we can get a more targeted hip stretch, keeping each side of the body even instead of having some funky SI joint twisty thing happening. So just relaxing here. Again, if your mind wanders, just coming back to the breath, coming back to these really delicious sensations in the body. After about a minute or so in each pose, you'll notice that you can actually probably go a bit deeper. And that's because the muscles have had the opportunity to completely relax, so we're able to get into the fascia. So really honor that as it comes. Beautiful. Taking one more full breath here, yogi. And then gently begin to move up onto the palms of your hands again. Shift the weight onto the outside of the right sit bone. Be gentle as you begin to bring the left leg towards the front. Left foot is pointing forward, and then you can take the right leg, place it over top. Again, the knees, you want to guide them to be stacked, but if your knee is out towards the side, that's totally okay. This is just the direction that we're going. All right, adjusting the hips because they may have kind of gone out of alignment. And again, bringing your arms forward, bringing your forehead down towards the mat. And just relaxing your body as you get into the back of the left leg, as well as the outside of the right hip. You may notice again that as you settle in for a few breaths and your muscles begin to relax, you can actually come a bit deeper. Or maybe you've gone too deep and you need to relieve yourself a little. Just lean into your edge, find your stillness, and breathe into the space. Beautiful. We'll just take one more full breath here. And then gently shift yourself up. Take your time. Be gentle. As you can see, this is a very slow practice for a reason. Okay, we're not just playing. Well, in a way, we're playing. And then allow your knees to drop down side to side. Yoga is play, but yin yoga is a slow, soft play. Awesome. All right, now from here, this is definitely where a cushion or maybe some blocks and a cushion might come in handy. And I'll give you a couple options here. So we're gonna come into Vajrasana. So we're gonna sit onto our heels, otherwise known as King's Pose if you're familiar. And basically we've been doing a lot of work to open the back body. Now we're gonna open the front body a bit more to finish off, okay? So if you do have quite tight quadriceps, or if you have a really tight chest or belly, definitely stack a couple of pillows behind you, or maybe even 2 blocks and then the pillow on top of the blocks. But otherwise from here you can bring your hands behind you, and I'll give you a couple of options. If you don't have any props, that's okay. Allow your heels to come out to the outside of your hips and your sit bones. And if you do have the availability to you, for example, I have very open quads, so I can even bring my feet all the way out towards the side. So if you have that spaciousness, you're welcome to do that. It looks a little bit funky and contorted, but it feels really good. And then from here, if this is your maximum, great, stay here, okay? If you can reach down towards your forearms, so it's almost like your fingertips can touch your toes, then play with that, okay? Or even if you put the cushion underneath your forearms, You can even move your hands back a little bit and just bend into your elbows a little, okay? Really getting into the front body, and then after doing that for a bit, then you might find that it's possible to come onto your forearms. And from here, if you can go further, you can even drop your head back. And if you can still go further, you can come all the way onto your back and allow the back of the head to come onto the earth, and the palms can just come alongside your body, palms facing the sky. So you'll notice here that you have a nice arched spine, a nice open heart. And if you're holding yourself up a bit with your arms, that's okay to keep your arms a little bit engaged, but really trying to relax the whole front body here. And maybe bring your eyes to a close. Allowing your hips and your pelvis to completely relax. Just holding in this space. Beautiful. Thank you, yogis. Taking 2 more breaths here. And gently shift yourself back up. If your neck is pulled back, be gentle with your neck as you bring it up. And then you can reach your arms forward, and we're going to do our last downward dog. So tuck your toes under, lift your hips. Super juicy down dog. Beautiful. Now from here, you can walk your feet in between your hands, sit onto your bum, and we're going to roll onto our backs. So as you come onto your back, make sure that you feel nice and long. Wiggle your hips a little bit, palms are facing the sky. And then bend your knees, allow your knees to come right in towards your chest. Maybe give them a nice little squeeze. Maybe reach your gaze up in between your knees. And we're going to finish off with a nice detoxifying shape. Just a nice simple twist. So to begin, bring the palms of the feet towards the earth, and we're just going to shift our hips slightly towards the right. Straighten your left leg along the mat, and then bring your right knee in towards your chest. Grab onto your right knee with your left hand. Bring your right arm out towards the side like a T, or you can have it like a cactus arm. And then take one full inhale to prepare. And as you exhale, gently guide the right knee and right thigh over towards the left side using the left hand to help you. So the goal is to have the knee reach towards the ground. It doesn't mean it has to touch the ground, but you just want it reaching in that direction. So you feel a nice spinal twist. The further your knee away is from your upper body, the more into the lower spine the twist will get. The more your knee is close to the chest, the further into the upper spine your twist will get. So I'm just going to suggest keeping your knee straight out from your hip, so that you can kind of get a nice even twist throughout the entire spine. And only if it feels okay on your neck, take an inhale, lift the head just about an inch off the ground, and then bring your gaze over top of your right shoulder. Exhale, bring your right ear down towards the mat. And if you feel any sort of tingling throughout the body, please adjust yourself so you no longer feel tingling. This can be quite common around the area of the shoulder. And if it is, you can bring your arm down alongside your body or rest it on your belly. But we just don't want any tingling because it means that you're pinching a nerve. And if this happens once or twice, it's fine. But if it happens regularly, it's not very good for you. We'll just take about 3 more breaths here. And then slowly bring your gaze back up to face the ceiling or the sky. Slowly come onto your back. And then bring both your knees towards your chest. Give yourself a nice little cuddle. And then bring the palms of the feet back down towards the earth. And begin to shift the hips just slightly towards the left side. And then straighten the right leg. Or straighten the left leg. No, straighten the right leg. I'm tricking you guys. All right, bring the left arm out towards the side. And then grab onto the left knee with the right hand. Take one full inhale. And as you exhale, gently glide yourself towards the side. Beautiful. I'm already so yoga stoned, I can't even tell my lefts from my rights anymore. All right, if you wish to bring this into a full spinal twist all the way up to your cervical spine, take an inhale, lift the gaze, twist your gaze so it looks over your left shoulder, drop your left ear towards the earth with an exhale. Beautiful, thank you, yogis. Let out one more full breath. And then gently bring your gaze back into alignment to face the sky. Bring your spine onto the earth again. And then bring your knees to face the sky. Palms of the feet on the earth, palms of the hands face the sky. Take one full inhale, lift the pelvis up. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone down as you try to make your spine nice and long, dropping the whole spine onto the earth. So your whole back is resting on the earth. And then allow your feet to extend outwards. And we're going to come into the most important shape, Shavasana. So your toes are pointing out. Your arms are extending vertically outside of your body. Your fingers are long. Back of the head is just resting on the mat. And as you're resting in your Shavasana today, just allow yourself to draw attention to each part of the body that's resting on the mat. Starting by bringing attention to the heels, the calves, the backs of the knees, backs of the thighs, your sit bones, your hips, lower back, middle back, upper back, shoulder blades, your shoulders, the backs of the hands, the wrists, the forearm, elbows, upper arms, the neck, and the back of the head. Bringing attention to how grounded the whole back body feels on the earth. Bring attention to how the whole front body feels as it's exposed and surrendering to all the space that's above us. And you're welcome to stay in Shavasana and join us to close later. But otherwise, if you're ready to come back to life, slowly and gently begin to move the ends of your limbs, maybe your hips, perhaps bending the major joint spaces of the body, like your elbows, your hips, your knees, your wrists, allowing your neck to drop side to side. And then rolling onto the left side body. And we roll onto the left side body just to honor the feminine practice that we just indulged in. Just taking a moment here Connecting to yourself before you come back to life for the rest of your day or evening. And keeping your eyes closed if possible, let's meet in a seat together. So taking your time as you lift yourself up and just sitting in any way that feels right for you. Whether you're in king's pose, sitting cross-legged. And I just encourage you to bring the palms to face the sky again. Surrender one last time to the practice. Connecting one last time to your breath. And then bring your palms to your heart center in Anjali Mudra, a prayer, again, as long as you're comfortable. And bringing your attention back to your intention that you set at the beginning of your practice. Honoring why you showed up for yourself today. Then bring your chin down towards your chest. Shoulders away from the ears. Take one full inhale. And as you exhale, sigh it out. And slowly begin to open your eyes, looking at the space in front of you, welcoming in all the light into your perception again. And thank you so much for joining today, yogis. May the light within me honor the light within you. Namaste. Awesome. Yay. Enjoy your yoga stonedness.